7:40 at KPEL News Studios, and we are waiting for that cold front to happen. May happen. I hope it happens during the day today. I'm going to wait to cut the grass until it passes through.
That's a good idea.
As soon as I see it pass through, I'm going to go outside. Who am I kidding? I'm probably going to pay someone to cut the grass. I'll just enjoy the weather outside. So we are continuing our interview series, 5 questions with candidates for the 3rd and 4th congressional districts, the Senate race as well as the 3rd for the Supreme Court as well. I'm looking over at my board right now. It looks like we have everyone scheduled, so we are really excited to talk to people. The 5 questions series continues this morning with State Treasurer John Kennedy, who is running for
U.S. Senate.
Yes. I'm sorry. I was looking over
I see that.
at my own handwriting across the room.
He
and
cannot
I was like,
read his own handwriting. Yeah.
Anyway, good morning, Treasurer Kennedy.
Good morning, guys.
How are you? We're good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
So we have been doing this with several other candidates, and so we'll get right into the questions, 5-question series right here on KPEL. Treasurer, how would you do the job differently than your competitors should you win this race, and what sets you apart overall?
I want my country back. I think America's best days lie ahead, but not if we keep going in the direction that President Obama, Secretary Clinton, and the big government Republicans and the Ritz-Carlton Democrats in Washington, D.C. have taken us. Look, I think President Obama, I mean no disrespect in saying this, has been a lousy president. I think Secretary Hillary Clinton will do even worse. But they haven't screwed this country up alone. The United States Congress, they have sat there, they've talked tough, they come back home, they tell us how bad the president and the secretary are, and then they just go right along, let them do everything they want to do.
Treasurer Kennedy,
Obama,
I do just want to ask about your competitors and your overall appeal.
Yes, I mean what I'll do something about it. I'm not going to just go to Washington and go along with all of them and hope that nobody in Louisiana understands what's going on or has time to pay attention because they're busy earning a living, and then come back home and tell folks how tough I am while the President Barack Obama has practically single-handedly wrecked the oil and gas industry. And now, if you ask him, he'll say, oh, it's Saudi Arabia controlling the prices. You think we don't have control over Saudi Arabia? We don't have influence over Saudi Arabia? They couldn't exist in the Middle East without our protection. And yet Obama and Clinton have done nothing to try to stop Saudi Arabia from wrecking the price of oil. And you know who's gone along with it? Congress. Now, if you ask them, they say, we're against it. We think it's so bad. They haven't done anything about it. The Republicans have a majority. Look, I'm a Republican. But we got a majority in the House, and we got a majority in the Senate. So how come Obama can do all this stuff to us? How come he can single-handedly wreck the oil and gas industry?
So that actually brings me to the next question. How will you work to help people in our state get back to work, restore the jobs and the industry as a whole? What specific things will you do?
Here's what we need to do to help businesses and therefore create jobs. Number one, we got to stop illegal immigration. That puts downward pressure on wages. Number two, the main reason that we have not seen job growth and wage growth is because businesses, especially small businesses, are not investing in new plants, new equipment, new software. When you do that, that creates jobs. The business expands. You create jobs. You enhance worker productivity, and wages go up. I'm going to cut taxes on business, especially small business. I'm also going to cut taxes cut taxes on the middle class. But that'll create jobs. Number three, we can negotiate better trade deals. We need to stop giving our jobs away to China and Vietnam and Malaysia. Number four, I want to make some changes in the tax code that will encourage larger businesses to do more profit sharing with their employees. It'll pay for itself, because if you do profit sharing and employees have an interest, an incentive to produce more profits, their productivity will go up and it'll pay for itself.
Let's go now to, if you are elected, that first month in office. What does it look like for you? And really, what would your first order of business be, Mr. Kennedy?
I'm going to do two things. First, right off the bat, of course, I'm going to want to find out what committee I'm going to be on, and I'm going to lobby for the committee. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go see every member of the United States Senate, and I'm going to try to take them to lunch or take them to dinner and get to know them, both Democrats and Republicans. I want to try to understand better what their interests are, what their vision for America is. I think that'll pay a lot of dividends. I mean, I really want to get to know my colleagues. Now, we're not going to always agree. In fact, I believe me, we'll disagree a lot. But I want to try to get to know them because in order for me to pass legislation, for example, coastal restoration for Louisiana and get us more money, I got to know what my colleagues are thinking. The first bill I'm going to introduce, I can tell you right now, I'm going to introduce a bill to first one I'm going to introduce is going to be require a balanced budget. Second one I'm going to introduce is saying, look, you want to raise taxes, you're never going to get my vote, but to raise taxes, you got to get a 2/3 vote. It's worked it's worked well in other places. I just think it ought to take a 2/3 vote, not a simple majority. Third bill I'm going to introduce a bill to require every member of the United States Congress to substitute teach at least twice a year in a public school in their district. I've been doing that in Louisiana for 13 years. I've learned more about how hard it is to be a teacher, about how hard it is to maintain discipline in the classroom, and about how hard it is to be a kid than anything I've ever done in terms of listening to committee testimony. You go be a substitute teacher. I mean a real teacher now. You start at 7:15, go to 2:45, do bus duty, lunchroom duty. Mm-hmm. You end of the day, it's you and 25 kids in a classroom. At the end of the day, you are worn out.
That is what my husband says every day now to me. He was in the oil and gas industry. He made it through 3 layoffs, Mr. Kennedy. In the 4th round, he unfortunately didn't make it, so the oil and gas company he was working for had to lay him off. And that's what he's doing. Buddy. Yeah, but that's what he's doing now. He's substitute teaching. So that perspective and getting that perspective, sir, I think is exactly right. It gives people a real idea what these students and really the teachers have to go through.
Well, I want to give you some hope about oil and gas, and God bless your husband for doing that. I guarantee he's learned more about education doing that than anything he's ever read. Mm-hmm. But I think the Saudi Arabia is about to crack. Now, it's not because of anything Obama did, and it's not because of anything Congress did. I can tell you, Congress just sat there and watched Obama wreck us. But the Saudis have been borrowing money. They can't operate on the price of oil as low as it is. It's hard for us too. We're in a depression in the oil and gas business in Louisiana, but the Saudis can't keep this up. They've been borrowing money hand over fist and losing money every day. I think we're going to see $60 oil by the end of the year, and I think we're going to see $70 oil next year because the Saudis cannot keep it up. Now, if the president and Congress would put a little more pressure on them, I mean, all the president would have to do is fly to Saudi Arabia and say, look, America gives you a lot of money every year. We protect you in the Middle East. Now, you're artificially restricting production. You're doing it to try to wreck the oil and gas industry in America. I don't much appreciate that. And you got 2 weeks to stop it. You better understand this. You can't count on America for anything.
Treasurer Kennedy, let's move on to race. I'm sorry, we're kind of up against a hard break here.
Yeah,
I want to get to the 2 more questions we have. Louisiana has had its own issues with race, and it's part of a larger problem nationwide. How do you think that race will play a role in how you execute the office as senator?
I don't pick my friends or my issues on the basis of race or gender. You know, I think I believe what the Constitution says. You know, we're all created equally. I think I agree with what the Declaration of Independence says. We all got the right to produce happiness, to pursue happiness. Now you got to catch it. You got to catch it yourself. I don't believe in quotas for anybody. I don't believe in equal outcomes. I believe in equal opportunity. I mean, I want everybody to vote for me, but I don't believe anybody deserves special treatment.
As we wrap up, any final comments or thoughts, Mr. Kennedy, that you want to leave with our listeners today?
Yes. Send me to Washington, D.C. to fight for you. I won't let you down. I'm not part of the club in Baton Rouge. I think most people know that. I try not to be rude, but I speak my mind. I'll do the same thing in Washington, D.C. And I'm not going to go up there and just join the club and get along and watch America get destroyed and then come back home and tell people how tough I am and hope that you don't really know my record in Washington. I'm going to do in D.C. what I've done in Louisiana. I'm going to stand up for taxpayers. And if we send enough people up there that will do that, and if we elect Donald Trump president, we can turn this country around, because our best days do lie ahead, but not if we keep going in the direction we've been going, not if we keep sending weenies to the United States Congress, and not if we elect Secretary Hillary Clinton president of the United States.
All right, we do have one final wrap-up question, too, that we like to ask all the candidates. Rob, ask away.
We know how the campaigns go, and a lot of things are said. I'm sure from where you said, a lot of things have been said about you. What is the biggest misperception about you and what you'll do as senator?
I think the biggest misperception, well, I don't know if it's a misperception among the people. Some of the other candidates get upset. And look, I love all my colleagues. We've had a good time debating the issues. Some of my colleagues in the race get upset when I speak my mind. I speak very frankly, and they say, well, you're not supposed to say that, and I don't understand why. I don't say anything that people aren't thinking. I'm not, politically correct all the time, but at least I think people know I'm saying exactly what I'm thinking, and some folks may like it and some folks may not, but they're not going to ever doubt about where I stand. I mean, I've said a lot of tough stuff, for example, back here as state treasurer to Governor Edwards. I think he's making a mistake raising taxes through the roof. I haven't said anything to Governor Edwards. I didn't say to Governor Jindal when he was spending more money than we were taking in. So I speak my mind. It's not personal, but my job is to protect taxpayers, man. It's not to seek the approval of my political peers.
All right, State Treasurer John Kennedy, and candidate for the Senate seat being vacated by David Vitter. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, sir.
You can hear this and all of the 5 Questions interviews right now at kpel965.com. Stay with us.